Hello, beautiful artisans. Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. And I've been working pretty much a lot yesterday and today on this piece, but on the village. So I want to share with you where I'm at. And I think I was going to kind of wrap it up today because I'm nearly done. I just have a few, some designs that I'm going to share with you what these are that I'm doing to finish it up. But then I was thinking about that and I'm like, maybe some of you are interested in seeing me put the back to front hem on it. So I am going to assume that you're interested in that. And then, so that will take one short video, not really super duper long, but we'll do that. And so, yesterday and today I was working on this and I was playing around a little bit. Developing, trying to get to know my Patreon platform over there. And I did about a half an hour video working on the village, just me working, like not talking or anything like that. So that will be coming out over there. And it's just this little section, and I'm going to share some things here with you. Well, here, I'll put the camera down. We'll put the camera down and see if you can see. I'm getting blur on this side, but I think you can see it. I'm going to turn this around. So everything is sewn into place pretty much, except this little section right there. But over here, you can see, so I added some flowers over here, and there's detail here you can't really see unless I point it out. And that is here, you might see it, the seed stitching, but it kind of blends in with the design a little bit. And I did more seed stitching here on the ink of this flower that is already there because it's a print screen. So I did some seed stitching there. See, this is the thing. This is the thing about art. When you add teeny little things here and there, you you don't know, like, you're not obvious to it, but boy, does it make a difference. It makes a difference in the flow of your work. It just does. Now here, down here, I added some leaves and I just did a simple running stitch, and then this is the wrap stitch, just wrap it around and go around the whole edge like that. So that's how I did that. This, I was debating if I should do any more beads, so I still might add some beads to that. Adding beads does, in my opinion, or getting a little crafty, it doesn't take away, I don't believe, from your sewing craft, from your art design. If you add it in a way that is complementing it and not overbearing it, because mixed media, it can turn into losing the whole art piece if you're not careful. So now this roof, I'm going to tell you, I went back and forth and back and forth. Should I do sashiko stitching kind of like in shells? Should I do it around? Should I do it in kind of like points, kind of making like shingles. So, and the reason I'm leaving it is because right now it's this just one big thing that's different in the piece. And for an art piece, I'm loving that. If I put all the sashiko stitching all the way through the roof, it could it will blend. It won't look that bad really, but it just makes it a little different like this. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is we had made some other pieces, and I'm feeling like right now, because I want to fill my spaces. However, like I had said in the beginning of all of this, I really, really want to keep I really like the yellow, the green, and the white of I just like it. So I feel like if I fill it up with fabric, uh, feel like it's going to be too busy. It's going to be jumbled. And I like the idea that the roofs are kind of, like that. They're like wonky and whimsical and wacky, and they kind of stand out against the plain background. So, what I decided to do is, yeah, I got my markers out. This could be a good thing or not a good thing, but I'm just gonna share a couple things with you. Um, it is difficult when to figure out to step back, okay? Because you can hide all the really cutesy little things you came up with. And I gotta tell you, right from the beginning of this piece, and I don't know if you remember, right at the beginning, I was saying I love this layered Boro design. I love this, and I cannot find one area on here to put this where it's going to be complemented, so I'm saving it. There's some other flowers that I worked on because I wanted to fill this a little bit more with flowers. So I'm going to do what I decided to do is I'm going to draw. So let's draw together. Now I'm going to just give you a snapshot here. This is a little sample of drawing that I do. I do these. I love fine tipped markers. I love them. And I've been working with them for many years. And the reason I tell you how I got to fine tipped, I'm going to share a Patreon thing. I haven't put this on Patreon, but I'm going to share something with you. Um, many years ago, because my mom was an artist, the one thing I admire so much that she did were her oil paintings. I wanted to be an oil painter. That is what I wanted to do. I'm allergic to oil paint. So then I went to acrylic, and I did like the acrylic. I'm fine with acrylic. However, I was trying to get detail, and I'll share over on Patreon, I'm going to definitely be sharing all of my artwork, but on YouTube, I do share my artwork infrequently, but it's totally on here. So this piece that made me kind of jump over to pen and ink was a piece that was a very detailed. So it had frogs in it. It has frogs in it. I still have it, but it's very detailed. And I was trying to get the dots and the little lines. I was getting very detailed and just loving the design. And the acrylic, I felt for me, it made it a little difficult, even though it dried super fast. So I kind of started trying out fine tipped markers, and I fell in love with it. So that's how I got to that. So I have, oh, and this is the other thing going on this piece. So this is the only other thing I'm sewing. Let's put it that way. I'm sewing onto this piece are these hearts. So I cut out, hearts are, there's a few things that you'll notice in my work over and over. So I cut out some hearts, all different sizes. I'm going to put this down so you can see. So they're all different sizes and designs. And that's another one. That one, I tried to take fabric that I'm not readily using anymore. That one. These are fabrics I'm not readily using anymore. This is vintage right here. I believe this one is vintage. This is definitely vintage. And this might be vintage. This is not, these are not vintage. These are fat quarters. But this is definitely something that's going in the piece. So I'm going to show you what I'm thinking on that right now. And as I draw the piece, what I'm thinking is to just put the hearts kind of sporadically around. Now, I'm not sure. See, I love that right there, actually. And then I always test out different. This might go really good too. There, but I always test these out almost like they're floating um past, they're clouds of hearts floating past us. Have you ever seen a cloud in shape of a heart? I have. Actually, I did last Valentine's Day, and I think I put it on TikTok. Um and it was in the shape of a heart. It was beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have all my markers here. Now these are permanent markers. These are look, I have to, and I have even more. But we're going to start with these. Um and I'll put this down, and I'm just doing freehand. I'm doing what I think might look pretty. Now, the worst is that I truly don't like it, and this and that, and I can put fabric over it. But the other reason I'm doing this is for the sake of dimension. I kind of want to, it's not going to create, this major dimensional, like there's some artists who, like, you look at their work and the thing is, the photos popping up right off of because they've done the shading exquisitely, and they've made it a dimensional piece. So that's not what this is. But this is simply design and having fun, actually. So I'm gonna put this back there, and I'm gonna put this down, and I'm just gonna draw to show you what I mean for a few. So I want my darker, yeah, these are my darker. And something I'm just thinking off the top of my head are mountains. So I started this one here. I don't know if you can see, I'll turn it this way. And there you go. Maybe you get a better picture. And so I'm thinking, mountains here. Now, usually when I do mountains in my artwork, I layer them. And the other thing I do with mountains, which I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I make them different colors, and I make designs. And but first I'm just going to draw some mountain views back here. And this, I'm going to tell you how I learned to draw mountains was from Vermont mountains, like just drawing them as I saw them, just drawing them as I see them, because this is it, depending on the view. If you can get a view where they're kind of one little mountain is between a couple of mountain, and you see them kind of, and then you look at it and you even see another tiny little one. I mean, it's just adorable. That is what it is. That's true scenery. So I don't know if I come up behind this house too much, um, but we'll do like that. Now, so there's some mountains. I got to move this for a moment because I have to move this piece. So I'm going to keep the green fine tipped marker on me. Whoops. Does that have a pin in it? No. And what I want to do is I want to add to my flowers. So I don't know, in this little space over here and over here. So I don't know really if this is going to be something that I love, but I am right off the bat. I don't know if you can see me drawing, but I am drawing a sunflower. And I'm just putting it all in green for the moment because I can come back and do my other markers. So these are fine tipped markers. And I'm going to give it some leaves. Now, I love sunflowers, so I want to add another one here. And with it being against the stairs, what I'm loving about drawing is it can go right into the stair. And I don't have to cut or sew or do anything. And the petals, so the petals cut off all by themselves because I drew it. Here, I'm going to turn this so you can see what I'm talking about. I drew it so it goes, right into the stair. So, so I like that in the way of a little depth, you might say, in that way. So, now I'm going to add a few more flowers over here. So these are just kind of down below the flowers that are standing up and coming out. And these are sunflowers, more sunflowers, just because I love sunflowers. And I can put a whole field of these. Now, I feel like right here I want some tulips, and it just happened like that. So I'm just going to leave that sunflower like that. I'm going to take red, and that is how it happens. You just kind of go with what, and the reason is there's this little yellow strip there, and I just think this tulip would just look adorable right there. Now, granted, this is a whole different level because it is fine tipped markers. So, this might be when someone looks at the piece, they're like, oh my God, what is that? Or they're like, wow, it's got different, so it depends. So now the other thing I might do is come back with the acrylics. I'll see how they look, if they look what do you want to say? Lost. If they look lost, I might come back with paint. So now this is a light tipped. I'm sorry, a light purple. So that's a purple. And I bet you can't see that one too good. I'm going to put another red over here. And I'm just going to have it come up like that. And this one, I'm going to have this come up. And those are kind of small. So anyway, that is, I'm loving this. Now, see, I could come back up here to my mountains, and I can design these with my marker, um, like this, like I do. This is what I do. And I love doing this. So, and I'll make them like all different. But if I don't, like I said, if I don't like it, there's no rules in my book, literally, that I'm writing. And in my book of life with art, you can create your own rules, your own methods. And so I could come back and I could paint that if I want, if I'm not happy with that. So anyway, I'm just giving you an idea of some of the process. And if you're really leery about it, like you really don't want to put your permanent marker on there, use your invisible pen or use a pencil. But so that's kind of where I'm going with this. I got dark blue, which I totally love. I love dark blue just because it shows up so now see what I'm doing here? This is what I was thinking of on the house. And it's just simply a design. It's nothing with this mountain. It's nothing specific. It's just I decided to do that. But as I'm going down, I want to make them bigger. That's how I feel about this. And that's what I'm doing. And that gives you a little bit, tiny bit of an illusion. Um, I have worked with illusions a little bit, but I enjoy the creative process so very much. But I do like that that idea of smaller to bigger, bigger to smaller, and like that. So so this is a mountain here, and if I wanted, I could put little flowers over here next to this house. Look how adorable those are. Those are super cutesy. It's different, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Like if I wanted to put a person with an umbrella, I could do that. So anyway, that's where this is going, and this will be done. So I wanted to get this to you, but I didn't want to wait till Friday and throw it at you that I did this, this, and this. I wanted to show you where I'm at, and in case I'm curious where some of you are at with your designing, um, or with your stitching. Stitching takes a long time. It do not be like, oh my God, I should have had that done. Remember how many videos we did to get this little village. Now, yes, we have some extra pieces over there, but what I'm saying is I was working off camera for many hours stitching and then getting on camera. That's the other reason why I like Patreon, because I can work, you can watch me, you can learn. So it's mentoring at a little bit more a deeper level. So not advertising just through that. Now that it's a part of my life. Um, so anyway, let's see, I hope you can see that. I'm gonna hold this up. I want to see how you, yeah, see you can see the mountains there, and it is a little bit of it gives a little bit of an illusion that it's back. So anyway, I hope that that gives, and here's the flowers. Oh, here, let me show you the flowers here. I fell in love with those little flowers right there just now. And then there's the sunflowers in the bottom. So what I've done, I might give it some thought and use acrylic, or I might finish up the design and then see how it looks. Now, the next part of it, just to share with you. Oh, I did share the hearts, but the hearts will come in different areas of the design. And what I'm thinking just off the top of my head as I look at this, and you're probably thinking the same thing. Where is the space? Well, there's space here on this roof. There's this space over here, and then there's this green space. So that most likely I'm going to be adding those hearts there. So anyway, that oh, and here's the little bird. I'll give you a close up of the bird. So if you can see him, and I love his little wing there. That's as far as I've gotten with him thus far. I was going to give him a few more stitches and maybe he'll get a little paint. So anyway, so I hope that that helps, and let me know if where you're at with your village, or if it gave you ideas and you're planning on doing one or something similar, or what you did with your learning Boro Sashiko inspired technique. So anyway, I will see you most likely Friday. We do the backing. I may do it tomorrow. It depends how fast I move through this. So either tomorrow or by Friday for sure, because the next a project on the agenda with you on YouTube is a Boro Sashiko inspired quilt, 40-inch by 40-inch. And we're going to do that together on YouTube, so it may be a few parts to it. And then I'll be starting another quilt over on Patreon. I'm not sure exactly which one yet, but a project. And then I'm doing a couple of workshops over there, um, eco-friendly. So that's a surprise. I'm toggling back and forth on which ones I'm going to do. Anyway, I will see you very shortly. You have a beautiful night.